Hello Kamen Rider fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. It is that time of the year again. It is Trademark Day. Woo! So we do have the name for the next Kamen Rider series that will be debuting after Kamen Rider Revice wraps up this fall. So Revice will probably end up going till, September, October, something around that time frame before we get our fourth Kamen Rider series in the Reiwa Era, following 01, Saber, and Revice, of course. And that is going to be Kamen Rider Geats. So this was finally posted today by the good old Trademark bot on Twitter. Finally, the legitimate Trademark bot on Twitter. There are a lot of fake accounts out there that have been posting definitely not real Kamen Rider trademarks for the last couple of weeks and so like that. But no, there is only one. There's only one trademark bot that is actually trustworthy, where we can get all of our Kamen Rider and Sentai trademark names every single year. And usually, late May, early June is when we get the Kamen Rider one, and then, late October or late September or whatever is when we get the Sentai one. So this was definitely something that was, pretty obviously going to happen around the corner here, and it happened today. So we do have Kamen Rider Geats there, registered by Toei Company today. And of course, this will be our next Kamen Rider series. I've yet to ever really see a trademark happen that isn't the next show like this, so there's really no reason to believe that there wouldn't be any other name. I know some people were definitely holding out hope for Kamen Rider Shinobi to actually be a series this year, because if you don't know, Kamen Rider Shinobi was set to take place in 2022 when it was back during a thing during Geo. That was never going to happen, unfortunately, but of course it would have been kind of fun if they had acknowledged that or, poked fun at that in some sort. And maybe they still will. Maybe we'll get some kind of Shinobi special again, even though we've already had one, but maybe we'll get something on TTFC or something like that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll appear in Geats. I'm not betting on it, but as for when we'll finally get information about Geats, we have a tiny bit of toy information, and that is just that the first candy toy set of gimmick items has a listing that's up for having 8 pieces in the set, and that is actually somewhat interesting because I believe it was reported on that the last time that happened where there was that many pieces in a candy toy set was like Wizard or something like that. So this could potentially point to a gimmick item that does not have electronics in it, so we could be going back to a gimmick item that is using some sort of rail system or some sort of something that is pre-designed into the driver, where we have to unlock sounds from the actual belt and the gimmicks don't really do anything. And it's been kind of a long time since we've had a gimmick like that. We haven't had that since Build, because Geo, 01, Saber, Revice, they've all had electronics in their gimmicks in some sort of capacity. So even if the belt still somewhat uses a predetermined sound system like the Geo driver, the Jiku driver kind of does. So that is just something we could potentially read into here with Geats, but definitely not, anything confirmed whatsoever. There is already rumors out there that we will be seeing Kamen Rider Geats debut as a cameo appearance in the upcoming Revice summer film, and that's probably a pretty good chance. That is a tradition that they like to have, and they still do it pretty frequently. For the, we had Revice, for example. He debuted in, or Revice and Vice debuted in Superhero Senki last year, which was not necessarily summer. I mean, it was a summer film, but it wasn't like the typical summer films. We haven't really had that in a couple of years because of the pandemic and everything. But we did already have it with the Reiwa Era, with Kamen Rider 01 having a first cameo appearance in the Geo over Quartzer film back in 2019. So I would definitely not be surprised if Geats makes an appearance in the Revice film. It's also possible that Geats could be our third mystery Avataro gear that's being sold as a special ticket bonus item set. For the movie, we know that we're getting a special ticket bonus item of the Revice and Vice Avataro gears, with a third gear being all silhouetted out as a mystery, so we don't really know what gear that would be. Obviously, Geats just got trademarked today, so this was not a name that Toei necessarily had already ready to go, so there's no Geats sound specifically in the Dawn Blaster, but there is just a Kamen Rider sound that we could use for a Geats gear or something like that if we wanted to do that, if that is what that is. It might not even be Kamen Rider related at all for that third gear, although I would assume it probably would be, with Revice and Vice each getting one for this special set. But yeah, no idea based off of the name what the motif could be, what the designs could be. We don't know what the gimmick could be besides it potentially not having electronics. But of course, we're probably about a month and a half away from first quarter toy listings, and historically the last couple of years, those have been extremely vague, so we'll definitely have to see what information we can gather from Geats before we have the official press conference for the show, which will probably happen at the end of July or early August, something around that time frame is when they would officially reveal the cast and the show and the trailer and everything like that, but I'm sure we're going to get leaks before that. And that's all we really have to talk about with Kamen Rider Geats today, so of course down in the comments below, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on what would you like to see for Kamen Rider Geats. I cannot believe we're already in the Trademark era time frame again. It feels like Revice just started, but we're just blowing right through it. So yeah, that's it. Until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LadyRangerKey or LandyFigPR, and I'll see you all next time.